recycling guy too.
Yeah, they just went to a recycling center. Aaron went to a recycling center. And they went and saw one that our school recycles too. So
yeah, we actually wanted to love to see what happens to recycling after it leaves St. John's campus. So we set up a tour at the local transfer station where everybody's recycling comes in on a private carter, and then that carter has markets to put it to, make money at. So I always learn something new when I go there about another piece of the market for recycling. The thing that, I knew bottles, cans, plastic, metal, glass, paper, cardboard, but I didn't know, when I saw this last time, that it was pretty interesting for me, it was the wood pallets. They actually take wood pallets pretty much in any condition. They come in with skids. Most trucks deliver on wood pallets. And they unloaded, while we were there, a whole truckload of them. And then they send them to a repair shop. And the repair shop then sends it out for recycling without a lot of, not a lot of energy just to repair the wood pallet and put it back into work. It has a pretty good life. Use oak is really what they're made out of, oak wood pallets. That was pretty interesting that I saw. As far as the markets were concerned, we can always allow St. John students to go and do the tour of the waste hauler that takes our recycling. So if any of the St. John students want and organize a trip, I'll be glad to take them to that place. It was pretty interesting, wasn't it, Erin? Erin was like, moderating, and Katie was filming, and they actually went up to where they do the sort separation and took a lot of film and talked about the markets and the different types of plastic recycling. Pretty much is what you see at a place like that, where there was a whole area just for the clear, like water bottles and soda bottles. There was a whole area for the white plastics that gets without a lot of color and dye, and then there was the mixed colored plastic. So, and there were numbers 1 through 7, so they took a whole range of plastics. So the new, what we need to do at St. John's is move into those areas of recycling all the plastics, all the paper, obviously the ink cartridges and the metal and glass and cardboard, but the stuff that's in the students' hands every day that is ending up in the waste stream that should be recycled, not only students but the administration in a big way. Tomorrow we're going to do a waste characterization study on the Great Lawn for Earth Day, where we're going to take the garbage from this building. This is where we're going to take it from. And it's black bags of trash from tonight, which I didn't warn anybody not to do anything different with. So we're going to take that tomorrow, and we're going to put it on the Great Lawn. We're going to do what they call a waste characterization study by the EPA WasteWise guidelines to be able to source separate it. So you take a measuring cup of a 1 cubic yard container, which is pretty big, and then fill it up with black bags. Now you have a cubic yard of waste. And then put out the tables and put the gloves on the students and open the bags and separate them. And this goes all to the paper, and this is what we're going to find. We're going to find a lot of paper for the most part. That's the thing that is most not recycled at St. John's. We're going to find that tomorrow. We're going to stick it in a separate waste recycling can, and then we're going to not touch the kitchen garbage. Actually, it's not too hard to identify kitchen garbage. You don't open that bag. It's heavy. I won't even bring it there tomorrow. I'll just bring the stuff that's light. There'll be plenty of it. So we'll do that as far as the WasteWise. We're an EPA partnership with WasteWise. We signed an agreement for that. So we'll do that tomorrow. And in order to be a partner, you have to do waste characterization studies and show results and hopefully get it right. Meaning, if you see a department with their letterhead tomorrow in the waste, you want to go back to that department and say, hey, you know what? We saw your paper end up in the waste stream. And then you got to follow up with a few other things like that. But I think what we saw too also is that we really don't need 3 cans anymore, 2 cans anymore. We really need 1 can for recycling, because the waste company that takes our recycling will take everything, and they'll separate it. So, it's a process, but we got to get better at it. We want to get better at it quick.
Well, talking about that agreement, can our school somehow manage to pledge from 11 to 1, at least try one building at first?
Definitely. Any of these students,
like dorm hallways don't need to be on.
Although I work for administration, and they listen to some of the things that we tell them and write, but the power is with the students. So, some ways we got to get so the students first of all know they have a lot of power, organize for the right efforts, and then get it up to administration to put a program together that says, you know what, we're going to try this. And as long as students are behind it, they'll follow suit. They'll try. Like tonight we're doing the lights out.
7 to 8.
7 to 8.
That works. Everyone
Yeah.
is, well receiving that. 11 to 1.
Oh, they save money. I mean, the bottom line is,
Yeah, St. John's
the
did
energy
money
budget
back
for
then.
St. John's University is $17 million a year. Facilities budget to keep the doors open is $43 million a year. Talking about $17 million of it is energy. So we've got to know that there's plenty of ways in order to change the culture, reduce the energy consumption, reduce the greenhouse gas emissions, and do it with programs like what you're just talking about for Lights Out. Try some new things. Think out of the box. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Dining hall programs help a lot without the trays.
Dining hall programs without trays is a very nice feature that we've been able to introduce. Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. Everybody's got to juggle and put your stuff down and come back. But you know what? After you get used to it, you understand the fact that they're not washing trays and spending hot water and gas and everything else. There's reason to do it.
Yeah, small little things.
Oh, the little things. Did you see the thing last night on public television that Schwarzenegger is trying to do in California? I mean, you probably know about it more than I do. I only saw it last night.
What is it specifically?
It's the whole thing that he's trying to reduce to tremendously low levels and 33% reduction in car emissions.
They've been way ahead of the curve.
Way ahead of.
And they've gotten, I think, 12 or 13 other states have jumped in with California and sort of said it's our state right to be able to mandate and regulate these things. So this was before the EPA came out. They were able to say, because we see global warming as a threat, maybe the U.S. didn't quite specifically say it was. The states are able to control this more. So that's,
Yeah, they're a coastal state. They got fires, in different seasons of the year. I mean, it's in their face, mudslides.
Yep, all those extreme weather events. So, different places are going to bear the brunt. It's going to be different things happening in different parts of the world. But there's going to be a lot of change.
So the reason I came